Hello FlossTube, this is Bonnie Jeanne, also known as PostMuse, and this is FlossTube number 38. It has been over a year since my last FlossTube. That was back in April of 2025, and a lot has happened. Not much of it good. However, I am hoping to come back. I don't know how regular, but I hope this is a return to my usual. And the worst of what happened last year is that about 2 weeks after the most amazing performance review I've ever had in my life at work, I received a text message on my birthday letting me know that my services were no longer required. No explanation, just that they were cutting back. So in November of last year, I was suddenly unemployed. I was completely taken by surprise. I had no idea that this was coming, and it was devastating. And I am still looking for work, and it hasn't been easy. I'm 69 years old, so it's just, I'm sure you can imagine. Anyway, I didn't do a lot of stitching last year. I was finding things very difficult last year. Part of that leads me up to why I will not be doing a whip parade. I started feeling very, very guilty about the amount of money I had spent over the last 6-7 years, probably more, on charts and embroidery supplies. I don't really have that kind of money to spend, and the guilt was really all-consuming. So one of the things, just pulling all the whips out, it causes the anxiety to surface. So I will only just be showing the current things that I'm doing right now, current whips, and I am trying to stitch very much semi-monogamously. I don't even think that that's a thing, but I'm focusing kind of on 1 or 2 or 3 specific projects and trying to finish those before I go on to the next one. So I am trying now. Maybe any of you who have ever tried it can give me some advice. I'm thinking about trying to sell a lot of the charts, the paper charts that I've bought over the years on eBay. I don't know if that's a wise thing to do. I don't know if it's just more of a pain than it's worth, but I did start whittling down my my whips and decided that I'm never, unlike what this thing back here says, I am not immortal. I can never finish all of the charts that I have bought. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with them. I would love to try to recoup some of the money, but I don't even know if that's possible. So if you have any advice on that, please let me know in the comments. And I'm going to show you some of my whips for today. I do have one completed that my first completion of the year. It's not framed yet, which leads me to my now. I'm doing this very nicely, leading one into another. One of the things I want to teach myself this year is how to repurpose thrifted frames. So what I mean is to buy frames and then cut them down to a custom size and put them back together again. You refinish them, put them back together again. I'm pretty sure I haven't had a lot of success in my framing efforts, but I'm pretty sure I can get good as far as stretching and lacing the back of the embroidery. I'm pretty sure I can get successful in that. I really have confidence in myself as far as that goes. But I do want to figure out how to repurpose frames, because framing is super expensive, and because I typically don't use the call for fabric count, my finished pieces ended up not being a regular size, so all of the frames would be custom. I have a cat that's just begging to come up, and I don't know if he's going to or not, so let's hope he doesn't, because he'll ruin all my lighting. Not that the lighting's great, but it took me a while to get it here. Anyway, so that's one of my goals for this year, is that I really want to learn how to figure out the frames. And I'm not going to work hard. I am not going to buy any new charts. I did not buy anything after, I think the last time I bought something was March of last year. It probably was something to do with market. But I am not buying any charts. I have to get a handle on this. I do buy floss. I mean, floss, I use it up, so I have to buy floss. But I'm not buying any more charts. So, that being said, I want to get into the current whips. I'm enjoying them very much. The first one is by the Artsy Housewife, and it's called Beach Rat. And I am doing this on, oh rats, I don't know what the count is, but I'm doing this on 28 count, I think, but I don't know what the color. And this is where I've gotten so far. Oh, let me just, backwards, that's why. It looks funny. There it is. It's hard to see. Trust me, the white does come out. There's various shades of white in the seagull, and it does come out. It does show up nicely on the actual piece of fabric. This one is giving me all kinds of headaches because of the many changes of whites and so many stitches, and it's just giving me all kinds of headaches. So I put it in timeout. So it's been in timeout for about a month. But I do want to get back to it because I would like to get that finished. So that is Beach Rat by Artsy Housewife. And then this one is almost finished. It is called New Doors by Ink Circles. And it says Old Keys Won't Open New Doors, which I think is very appropriate. And this is what that looks like. I posted on Instagram a day or so ago that I am going through border fatigue, battling border boredom on this one, and it's very true. So that's where it is. This is the border up here, and I have a lot to do, lot to go before it's finished. I really wanted this done this weekend, but I don't think it's going to happen. But I'm going to have to figure out a new place to sit. This place is not working as well as I thought it would. So that is Old Keys Won't Open New Doors. Those keyholes there, oh my God, those were intense. This one, it says, if you can see it, it says 22. Inverted and right side up. And because this chart was created in 2022. And I did attempt to change the typography to say 26, but I was not successful. It looked weird. It just looked weird because the 22 looks right because it's symmetrical, and this chart is so very symmetrical. So I let that go. That is New Doors. And the next one, it seems like I stitched on this thing so much in January, February, March, and there'd already been quite a bit stitched, but it's such slow stitching. So this is the Groovy Chicks by Satsuma Street. And on the back of each Groovy Chick, it has, on the bottom of it, it has cute little play on words. So the one that I'm working on right now, it's called Let It Peek, Let It Beak, instead of Let It Be, Let It Beak. And this is as far as I've got on it. So I mean, it's weird. It's the way you stitch it is weird because you have to. I think it goes that way. I know it goes that way. So you have to stitch it, and then it stitches more out this way, and then a little bit more down this way, and then you cut it, and then you fold it a particular way, and you end up with that triangular type shape. But that's as far as I've gotten on that. I want to stitch all of them because they're just so cute. I thought they'd be great pattern weights. Another thing I want to get back into is sewing. You know, quilt sewing. If I do, I will be mentioning that on my FlossTube. And then, all right, so I did that. I did Newton, I did Groovies. And then the last thing that I've been working on is the Airmail series by Lindy Stitches. And I have, the March one is complete. That's Turtledove. What is that behind there? Oh, it's just a piece of thread. That's all right. So that's March. That's completed. That's Turtledove. Really like him. Little side eye there. And then I am working on red cheeked Corden Bleu. I don't know why it's called a Corden Bleu. But I ran out the border here. I ran out of the floss for that border. And I just ordered some. And it's going to be coming from 123 Stitch. And I'm hoping and praying that it's the same, it'll match what I've already stitched on here, or otherwise I will be taking a lot of stitching out. So there's a little bit more Corden Bleu that's needed there, and there are flowers and so forth. I have the chart for this, the picture of this one is in my, it's over there in my stitching pile. And I don't want to go pull it out because it's already magnetized to the board. But maybe if I remember, I'll put a picture of it up here. So there are 12 in the series. So these two are pretty much done. And I'm not considering this a project that's done until all 12 of them are done. So I don't really know which one to do next. So I will be finishing these up. That as soon as the floss comes in, they finish very quickly. I want to start another one, or another two. I like to have two going at once. So, if you have any opinions, let me know which one you think I should start next. This one is the January one, and it is a California quail. Yep, California quail. He's very cute. And then this is February. It's a cockatoo. The striping in that is all from the fancy floss. I don't have to do all that striping. I hope. Oh, let's just make sure. I hope I don't have to do all that striping. No, I do not. It is all fancy floss. What is that floss? It's the fancy floss on that is called, it's Classic Colorworks, and it's Strawberry Parfait. I'm not sure. I might fool around with the way that I stitch that. Getting myself sidetracked here. I'm not crazy about the stripes, so I might try to stitch it, you know, more like bird feathers in a wavy line. So I have some sort of striping in there, color variation in there. Same with the wings, but the wings are the gray. But we'll see. Okay, so that's February. And the next one is April, which is, so think of April Fools. The dodo. He's very cute. I thought that was great that the dodo is that. Then June is the silver-throated tanager. None of these birds I have ever seen in my own backyard. And July is the European goldfinch. Can't imagine that there is a real bird out. Oh, well, I know there's a European goldfinch, but I can't imagine that he's red, white, and blue as that. And then August is the ringed teal. I like him too. I like his little side eye. I like his flowers. And then September is Rainbow Bearded Thornbill. I like his open mouth. And the musical notes, those are cute. And then October is the Japanese Bantam. That's going to be a lot of black, stitching of black. It's coal. It's Weeks Dye Works coal. I know I'm going to get tired of stitching that, but I will like it. And then, of course, November is a turkey. It's the ocellated turkey. This is the most colorful turkey I've ever seen in my life. He looks very sad, though. Of course, it is Thanksgiving, so he has a right to be sad. And then lastly, we have the Northern Cardinal for December. There he is. He's very cute. So I want to pick 2 of those out to work on. After I finish these 2 here, these will be done before our next meeting. And that will be great. All right, so now on to recent finishes. I just have the one recent one, and that is I don't know where I put it. There it is. This is Good Intentions by Kathy Barrick, and I did my own color conversion for this one. It is on Fra-gee-Lee by Needle and Flax, and it's 28 count, and that's how it came out. So it's all purples and greens. I pretty much completely changed it, and up here it was originally supposed to be a dog. I turned it into a cat. But I really like how this came out. And this is on one of the, and then the little girl's holding a sampler there, and a letter on it was A, and I changed it to C for cat. My own name is a double first name, and there was no way I was going to be able to put BJ on there. There's no way I was going to fit that. So that was my finish. I finished that about a month or so ago, and I'm very pleased with it. Really came out nice. So, and then next week I will have those 2 airmails finished, as well as the new doors that will be finished. And then lastly, I wanted to show you some of my older finishes that I'm still waiting to frame, because I don't remember if I've ever showed these before. The first one is one that I did a couple of years ago, and it is a set. I can't remember the name of it. If anybody's interested, I'm sure I can look it up. This is Catch of the Day, and then this mermaid is to see how they have, how the line is supposed to, the line from the fisherman is supposed to connect to the anchor down there. And I don't really know how to finish these. I mean, I want them framed. I guess I don't really know. I want them framed so that they're close together, so that you can get the idea. I guess that's how you would do it, so that the water lines meet up, but in separate frames. I had them framed at one point in the same frame, and I may go back to that. I don't know. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do that, but it's very cute, and I like it a lot. And the other one is a series that I've been working on for years, and it's called the Scatter series. And again, if you're really interested in the name of the designer, I can look that up for you. And this was Scatter Kindness and Love. Got a lot of buttons on it. I didn't do a very good job with the stretching. I mean, obviously, when I figure out the frame situation, I'm going to take this off and stretch it properly so it's straight. So that's scattered. And then I started years ago. I started this series called Kitty Quilts, and I only got 2 done. This one was January, and this one was February. And I'd like to finish up that thing too and put those into, it's 12, so I would love to get one of those frames that have, you know, a square for each month, for all 12 squares all in one thing. I've seen those things before. And get that framed up, because those are easy to finish. I keep saying that. I haven't finished anything. This one I finished up about 3 years ago. Again, now, I was really into things with buttons. I'm not so much anymore. That's the other thing. My taste has changed dramatically. This is Crazy Cat Lady, official Crazy Cat Lady. Very cute. I still have 2 cats. My eldest cat, Bailey, is not well, but I still have him with me. And then these, I have no idea. I'm sure it's 8 o'clock, but these are also very cute. A little girl and little boy in the bathroom. Just love them. These would be so, I know one of my daughters would love it in her bathroom. I could get them framed. And then my daughters I grew up teaching dance. And, I started teaching dance when I was in my early 20s. And my daughters obviously danced all their life. My grandchildren do not. My grandchildren are very sporty. And I did this for my eldest daughter's very first tap dance in 1986. This was a song called the Codfish Ball. She wore an orange costume, and that's why it says it's orange down there. And then my other daughter did a jazz dance to Olivia Newton-John's Let's Get Physical. And I made this one for her. And that was in the late 80s. A lot of threads on the back of them that have to be tucked too. And then they each got a birth sampler. So my eldest daughter, and I washed these, and they ran terribly. But both my daughters still want me to frame them, and they want them. So this was obviously meant to be white, and the red ran. So that was my eldest daughter, April Lee. And then Melanie Devon. This is hers. I have no idea who charted these designs. But anyways, those are my old finishes. These will be the first things that I will want to figure out how to frame. And if I can get that whole idea. I've been reading up a lot on, you know, making frames and stuff. And I think I can do it without the use of major purchases for power tools. In fact, I think I can probably big, borrow, and steal whatever I need. Not steal, but you know what I mean. So that's it for cross stitches. Other things that I wanted to talk to you about are books, and then some of my other things that I've been doing to keep myself from going crazy, because I live alone, and I live on the outer Cape of Massachusetts. And in the wintertime, it is insanely quiet out here. It's nothing well, there's a lot going on, but it's just very quiet. So I've been, I'm trying to keep myself busy. So reading, I've been doing a lot of reading, and I'm going to put it in the notes, but I use something called Storygraph. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of the book journaling program called Goodreads. It's similar to Goodreads, but it is not affiliated with Amazon in any way, shape, or form. I am very, 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 very anti-Amazon, and I really love Storygraph because it's independent. So I use that, and I keep records of the books that I've been reading. I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I use the Libby app from my library, and that's available from any library across the U.S., and it's very good. So I get a lot of my books through Libby and my audiobooks through Libby. And really, really, if you have any book recommendations, do put them in the comments. I'd love to know what you're reading. I have actually forgotten to note down the couple of books that I've been reading and my last favorites, but I'll talk about that in my next one. I'll have a better idea of the books. I just didn't want this to go on forever. And then another thing that I've been really enjoying are the Lego Botanicals. I have another set that I don't have the box for anymore. This is the one that I've been working on. I love the Botanicals. I just think they're the best way to do Legos because they're very decorative. I just like the way they look. And on that same idea, the other thing I've been doing a lot of lately are jigsaw puzzles. And this is the one that's coming up. Lego minifigs. I love my jigsaw puzzles. I love games too, but there's nobody out here to play with. But I love games. I love playing board and card games. And my jigsaw puzzles, I have one of those felt mats that you build a puzzle on, and then if you want to, you can roll it up and put it away if you have people coming over. But I don't have nobody coming here, so I just usually put a cloth or another board over the top of it when I leave it alone so the cats don't knock it off. But that's pretty much it. It's 30 minutes about that we've been talking. And again, I'm happy to be back. I hope to be more regular, and I hope to have a lot more to show you and a little bit more to talk about books the next time too. Thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.